Hey everybody, I'm First Warren 5 Meteorologist Warren Sears. I hope you're having a great Monday so far. Definitely getting a little dicey out there into the afternoon and evening. We've had a wet snow falling for hours and hours. Not a whole lot to show for it just yet, but I do think that will change eventually as we get later on into this evening. All right, let's take a deep dive into this forecast quick before our 6 p.m. show. We do have a winter storm warning that was added for the entire Kansas City metro. That was added this afternoon. So that is pretty much everyone along and north of I-70. That is where we're expecting the largest impacts from this storm. The higher snowfall totals, the reduced visibilities, and we're also expecting the biggest travel concerns in that whole pink shade. Now, those of you that are in the winter weather advisory in that purple just to the south, don't let your guard down. I'm not saying that you won't have impacts, but again, that winter storm warning just is where we're expecting that heightened concern with travel and again, higher totals. So winter weather advisory is in place for everyone south and southeast of Kansas City on I-70, also all the way over to St. Louis. So let's get into what we're expecting here over the next few hours. I do think that the light to moderate snow that we have out there will continue. Then roads might become a little slick the later you go. Right now, I think we're just dealing with wet roadways, and that will likely be for a few more hours. I've been checking cameras all over the place and reports all over the place as well. Everyone, for the most part, just reporting wet to maybe some slush on the roads, but no huge concerns right now. The later you go, though, into the overnight, that's when I think we could have some issues as our temperatures will slowly fall a bit. The reason that we've been so just wet and slushy today is because our temperatures are actually at or even above the freezing mark, and you can see that here with our Aetna First Warn weather camera. Most of us coming in right around 33, 34 degrees, and 1 degree in this situation makes a huge impact. And we talked about this for the last few days. I expected to have that rain-snow mix turning to all snow, wet snow, melting for hours and hours before it starts accumulating. So as we look down, mainly roadways are just, again, wet, but the grassy surfaces starting to accumulate first, and that's generally how this works. The ground starts to cool a little bit, the grassy surfaces will pick up a little bit more. The grassy surfaces don't retain as much heat, and then the roadways eventually will cool as well. You'll notice the heavier activity now basically Kansas City, down I-70 and north between I-70 and I-35. So Chillicothe to Lexington, Marshall, Cameron, Bethany, you're getting some of the more steady action right now. And you'll likely start to pick up some dusting to inch kind of range totals here over the next few hours. Now, we did have some dry air start to work in. Good news. At least for a snowfall total standpoint, that drier air is starting to saturate a little bit more. So we're noticing now new development of snow showers to the south of the metro coming up I-35. So Johnson County and Miami County, Douglas County, you'll notice some fairly steady snow here as well. This is a big storm system. If you have friends or family out in Kansas and central western Kansas, you likely have heard about what they've been dealing with today. Many inches of snow falling on the back edge of the storm, and also significant wind gusts out there. That's a huge concern of mine tomorrow morning as this area of low pressure continues. So quite a bit of moisture to deal with here. Looks the entire state of Missouri either has rain to the south or some wet snow to the north, and a lot of Kansas as well. So that drier air again starting to saturate a bit. So that is a good sign to see. I was a little hesitant about that once I saw the drier air coming in. But all in all, I do think that back edge of the storm comes through during the morning and midday tomorrow. So even if you have a little lull after this first batch in your neighborhood, I still expect overnight to morning snow tomorrow. So Monday night travel will be okay again for a few more hours, but as we get closer to midnight and early morning tomorrow, I think that's when road conditions turn a little bit more on the poor to impassable side in some spots. So forecast track here does keep us in that kind of snow zone here into early morning tomorrow. You'll notice that rain snow line stays mainly to the south, so I do think overnight and morning tomorrow will be all snow, no wintry mix or anything like that. As temperatures slowly start to cool, you'll notice stuff stacks up a little bit better. So again, tomorrow morning I'm really banking on a couple inches of snow to fall. It's going to linger around, and I think it's good that a lot of the school districts are canceling. Even if we don't have a whole lot on the roadways, accumulating on the roadways, I still think that grassy surfaces, reduced visibility is a big issue with blowing snow to start our Tuesday. Likely keeping those snow showers, around through midday. By early to mid-afternoon, the system will finally pull off to the east, and then we'll start to dry out into our Wednesday. We did massage the numbers a little bit here for forecast snowfall accumulations. Yesterday I was thinking more 3 to 6 inches. With some of the latest models really amping up those numbers up, I'm not sold. You know, anyone can look at those computer models out there. Some of them are throwing out 10 inches in the metro. I'm not getting behind that yet. But we did kind of encompass that 4 to 7 range with the lower lower range expected closer to 4 inches, especially in the metro. The farther north you go out of town, even up to the airport, Platte City, things like that, that's where we could maybe see a little bit of higher totals with that range. And then the farther south you go, we'll have more of a steep cutoff in that 1 to 4 inch range. In some spots, farther south, maybe only a dusting. So that's just a small update. The heaviest snow, the higher total still expected across northeastern Kansas, northwest, and north central Missouri, where they could reach that 6 to 10 inch range pretty easy. As I mentioned, wind gusts, a huge concern of mine. I think 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts on the table tomorrow, especially mid to late morning and into the early afternoon. Gusts up to 40, 45, that is near blizzard conditions. I don't know if they'll upgrade to a blizzard warning. There are some out in western Kansas right now, and they are validating. They're proving to be true. I mean, it's really windy out there. Invisibility is a huge concern of mine. So even if you don't have a ton of snow on roadways in the morning, still a dangerous start to the day just because of the strong wind gusts. So all in all, still on track to have big impacts later this evening and into the overnight and early morning tomorrow. But I do think if you need to get out and about for any reason, you're still fine to do so here in the near future. I've been keeping an eye on those CanDrive cameras, and Missouri has a good network of cameras also. Just look at those if you have to travel around at all. See if you're getting any accumulations, things like that. But for the most part, it's just been in those grassy surfaces. I do expect now that we're after sunset, things to start to calm down a little bit, or not calm down, things are starting to accumulate a little bit is what I meant to say, sorry. Debbie says that Chillicothe has some cars sliding off already. So definitely seeing a little bit of a minor accumulation up there. It just takes a little slush for issues. Also, reduced visibility with this wet snow, heavy snow as well. So that's another main concern that I have. Craig, Missouri, it's just snow but not sticking. Yeah, so I think that's unfortunately going to continue for a few more hours. That might have a little bit of a hindrance on our totals. We'll just have to see how this all pans out. But I still think that a couple inches is definitely on the table with the higher totals north of the metro. All right, that's kind of just a quick update. I just wanted to jump on here in between shows, let you know on Facebook if you didn't get to catch any of our newscasts, just kind of let you know, and all of other streaming services, let you know what we're expecting here through the rest of this evening. I will be our meteorologist at 6 o'clock, and Savannah and I again at 10, and then Greg Bennett's here early tomorrow morning. We'll keep you updated as we continue to push through this event. Everyone stay safe out there. Again, travel not looking